Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Rose Ed podcast. We are back. A lot has happened since we've gone. A lot has happened in the last few days. Thomas Tuchel has been announced as the new England manager. Obviously, I'm not English, so it doesn't affect me. Don't really give a shit. Don't even see what the fuss is all about. Adam, how do you feel about it?
Um, I, I'm
Here
sort
we
of
go. It's reform vote is going to come out
no,
here.
because it's not like 1940s where like that's the thing. It's not like that, but like I think it's more of like it's good. He's the best manager we could have got realistically. So to get the best of the bunch is good. I think it's more of a damaging look for like it just sums up where English football is a little bit maybe
Yeah.
that like you think the best league in the world is controlled majority by foreign players, foreign managers. The best players are foreign managers for like they're not from England. And now England are now going to a German or a foreign manager, it doesn't matter where they're from, to help them. It's not a great look, but it is the best manager. So at the end of the day, no one's going to care if he wins.
No.
I just hope people don't expect him to sing the national anthem because people just need to accept he's not going to do that. But
He might. You never know. You never
I'm
know.
not too annoyed about it. Like I didn't expect it. I was more shocked. I was like, "Oh, no, they'll go for like Graham Potter and then whatever." But the fact they went for Tuchel shows like,
Shows ambition.
yeah. So I think you've
I
got to
think
look at
it's
the
thinking outside
positives.
the box, isn't it? It's you look at the English managers available. Obviously, you got Graham Potter. You could have maybe got Eddie Howe from Newcastle. But apart from those two, are there any really outstanding English managers?
But there's not, and even them are they really outstanding at
Well,
best? Like,
that's the thing. Yeah,
yeah,
but that
and that's the thing. I think where people. So I think people. I don't know. I'm torn on it because obviously it doesn't come in till January, so you've got a bit of time.
well,
But
the next international break's obviously November, but then after that, ain't got one till March.
yeah,
It's
it's Lee
time to
Card.
sort of see how these squads sort of gonna shape up in time for the World Cup, which will be
Yeah, he
interesting.
suits. The thing is, like Tuchel suits knockout football. You saw what he did with Chelsea. He also got a not very good PSG team to the Champions League final as well. So it shows that
Where did
like
Bayern Munich come last year?
they got knocked out in the semis, didn't they, to Real Madrid right in the last minute. Hosso. Um,
Still, you know,
but
it's
he was
only
that close again to doing it again. And Madrid would just have like a fluke sort of cheat code when it
Madrid and
comes to
Madrid, aren't they? I think that
yeah.
yeah,
So it's good for knockout football. It'll be interesting to see how he adapts because obviously he's a club manager, so he's used to being like with the players 5, 6 days a week, whatever it is, every day being able to work with them. To now seeing him once every what 2 months is it, give or take on average, whatever it is.
and then the only time I really get to see them is from the stands, really, isn't he? When
Yeah, and he can't even coach them. He just sees them for like a week and a half at a time, and half the time players are pulling out because they don't want to ruin their chances for their club. So it's definitely, I think he'll be able to deal with the pressure better than Southgate. I think because he won't take any shit. I
yeah, I think
think
when it
South.
comes down to it, he'll obviously he just needs to see how players are performing, how they play, how they suit a system that was
Yeah,
his philosophy. And
I
I
think
think
it'll be
I think
cutthroat.
he will do.
That's,
Yeah, he'll do very well. I don't think he'll go as far as putting Cole Palmer at left back, um,
no,
which
no.
which is a positive.
Yeah,
But I do believe he is he's probably like you say he's the right man for the job. Do I understand sort of like the criticisms behind it? Not particularly. I think similar to what you said, it kind of just highlights where English football is at. I think you see a lot. I've seen a lot of tweets over the last few days um, about sort of like the prices coaching badges are in England compared to other countries.
I am doing mine. So World Cup
Yeah, I mean,
2024.
I've got my what was back in my day a level two is now a UEFA C, but I got mine for free during college, which is back in 2017, 18.
I
Now,
did hear you were one of the. They did interview you for the England job. That you were one of the 10 they didn't want to give names for.
but this is the thing. They said they don't like Dutch people. I was like, okay, fair enough. But no, well, that's the thing. But that course now costs 500 quid or something stupid.
Mm,
I believe. I think
yeah, they're
the
all
UEFA
expensive.
Pro license in England costs like 9 grand.
Yeah,
Imagine that 9 grand to
no,
just
it's
coaching
it's like
in other countries is half the price or less, and that's why they've got a lot more successful coaches because it's more
yeah.
accessible for
I
people
think I
to
can see
partake.
Jamie Carragher's point. I think I saw he tweeted like it's like an international at the end of the day, it's like your best versus their best. So it's like the best international players, I know it sounds stupid, but is against their best international players.
Yeah,
And then it should be the same with manager. The only time when I think a manager's won something that wasn't from the nation is when it was Greece, and you can sort of accept that because Greece isn't known for its football in like quality. So
Have like some barman called Stavros fucking take you through.
yeah, but like you can excuse them for having a, I think they're the German manager at the time. But other than that, like obviously like Deschamps is French and or they've all been from their nation. So I could it's a
I,
little
I, I
bit
do, I do, I do see it in that respect. Like, yeah, obviously, I think like if you
it's a
go
bit
and
of a
base
cop out, I think. But then I get why it's a cop out because it's a better match.
where
But it's
England
both
fans are
ways really.
complaining, if Capello won them the World Cup, if
That's the thing,
fucking
yeah.
Sven Goran Eriksson, won them the
Yeah.
World Cup in
Mm.
2006, I think England fans would have complained too much.
And you'd argue he's
I
a
think
level
it's
above them as
basically
well.
it's a German, and obviously in football and in the whole fucking world itself, England and Germany have a lot of history. Um,
Yeah. But that's
so
what it is history at the end of the day. It's history. Like,
that's all
yeah,
it
like
is. But
people have to move
I
on.
think people, yeah, again, like you say, it's not dark ages anymore. People have to look past that. Thomas
Yeah.
Tuchel is a fantastic coach. He's world class. He's probably in the top 10 coaches in the world. The fact that England have got him as their
Yeah.
national manager is only a positive. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But the thing is, I think the FA have appointed the right man. Um,
The best man. I think
yeah,
it's more the best man more than the right man, I think personally. Like
yeah,
he's the best you could have got. I don't necessarily think he was the perfect choice because an England manager I think would have been better, but he's the best manager we could have got. So it's sort of a double-edged
yeah. I guess
sword.
to fit sort of like the criteria, obviously you
Yeah, and
want
it's
to
like they've only given
speak
him an
English.
18-month contract, so it's sort of like World Cup or bust. And then he probably goes back to club football. I'm glad that England have gone because it means United aren't getting him, which is quite funny. So from a slightly biased perspective, I'm quite glad on that. But I
Yeah.
think with the fact he's got such a short contract, it shows that he wants to get back into club football. He's just taking a little bit of time to do this and then go back.
Yeah, I think he want. I think a World Cup would look good under his belt though as well, wouldn't it? So
Oh yeah, if he does that, he can get any job he wants then. But obviously that's 2026. So I think that brings us on nicely to what we think the team will be. Look, starting 11 because the squad, Jesus, who knows by that point. But what you would be your starting 11 for World Cup 2026 in
that's,
America? So that's Canada, that's Mexico.
mate, we're still like nearly 2 years away from that. That's it's a tough
Yeah,
one because we don't know where people are going to be at, especially goalkeepers wise. Like you look at Jordan Pickford, will he still be number
yeah,
one?
that's the thing.
Will
Yeah,
David
but it
Dean?
is again only 2 years. It's not as far away as you think.
It's
It goes.
not far, but at the same time, I mean, you'd go Pickford, wouldn't you? I think Pickford would
I'd
probably.
still have Pickford in goal
Yeah,
personally.
Pickford would probably still be the number one. I mean, I don't really see none of the other 21's goalkeepers really sort of strike me as, yeah, I'm going to take your place.
And keepers, you can play a bit older, so as long as he's still doing his
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. Centre halves is certainly an interesting one. I think Johnny
Yeah,
Stones will still be knocking about. I think he'll still start. Um,
yeah.
I don't know who'd start alongside him. I ain't got a clue.
I'm thinking Mark Gahey because he's only 23. It has to
Yeah,
be Mark
Gay. Yeah, I think Gay's probably the safe pick. I think Levi
Gahey,
Colwill
Stones.
out as well. He's young.
I'd probably have Levi Colwell maybe at left backs. We have very few left backs, and then by having him allows me to have Trent, and then you sort of it shifts into a back three, and
Who's,
from
who's gonna be? Who's gonna play right back? Fucking hell!
got to be Trent.
It
If
has
it's
to be,
anyone else,
it has to be
if it's
Trent,
still
doesn't it?
Kyle Walker, then I'm not.
Kyle Walker won't be around that much longer. I don't think.
It might be Reece James if
Not-
he's fit. That's my only thought,
I,
but
I think Reece James will have retired by that point.
he's meant to be fit again now. But if he's
Oh, is
playing,
he? Oh,
Thomas
okay.
Tuchel
Well,
likes him. But
I'll look at the news in 2 weeks' time and see that he's out for another.
oh, inevitably, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'd probably have
Left back is an interesting one. So you want to go Levi
I'd
Colwill?
have like a Conser or Colwell, like a defensive minded, like the centre
Fucking
half.
no, I want an actual left back at England.
It's not going to be Shaw because again, he can barely stay fit now, let alone then.
Yeah, and it's not going to be. Do you know what, the only other option that's sort of like springing to mind is Leaf Davies.
Or Mitchell. That's the only ones. I know
Oh,
there's
you know,
been a couple of young lads at
Harry
Arsenal.
Mitchell, yeah.
Um,
I really don't want to say Leaf Davies though, because
it's
obviously he's
hard to
next.
say because if he's in the Championship, it probably won't be. And Ipswich don't look like they're gonna like they might go down. So he's a hard
You
one.
know what? I'm gonna go Callum Doyle
Callum Doyle.
on
Who's he
loan
play?
from Norwich from Man City. Fantastic. Part of the under 21
Maybe
setup.
Rico Lewis. Actually, now I think about it as well.
Yeah.
Lewis.
You know what? I'm gonna say here, Callum Doyle.
Can do. I like that. I
Lee
like it
Davis, fuck
afterwards.
that. No, I'm not. I'm not falling down that path. No, no way. Conan
So
Doyle.
then you've got a midfield. What should we say? I'd have two
I
midfielders,
think
but
it's an 8 and a 6 and a 10.
yeah,
8 and a 6.
Rice, Bellingham,
Rice, Bellingham. I think Bellingham
Palmer.
will play more of an 8, and then Palmer's a 10. I think
Yeah,
that's
I think
sort of
that should
setting the
be.
tone.
Yeah,
Both
that's.
with years to live and
I
play.
think the only position left up for grabs personally, because I think we'll agree on right winger and striker, is
Ooh,
left wing. I
I
think
would,
Saka's going to be on the right.
yeah.
I still think it's going to be Kane. I still think he'll be there.
Hmm.
There's no one that I don't think will have a good enough.
Mate, I don't think you've seen Tom Cannon's performances for Stoke City recently, mate. What are you? No, I'm joking.
But like, it's got to be, they've got to do well
I
enough
think,
to not.
yeah, no, I think it is going to be Harry
He is
Kane.
captain still, isn't he? And Tuchel
Yeah.
likes him.
Again, this is 2 years down the line. He's in his 30s now.
He's only 30 though. It's not
Is he
like
only
he's going to be
30?
like
No, he's older. He's older. Let me
he's
have no.
30 or 31. He's not as old as I think people think. He just looks a bit old, and he's
He's just probably been around for a long time. He's only 31. Yeah, you're right.
yeah. So I
Yeah,
think
no,
30,
and I think in 2 years' time at 33,
34, yeah, depending on diet.
it might
Yeah,
only be 32 by that point. He is. He will only be 32 by that point. Yeah, I'm eating my words. He will only be
mm,
32 by the time the World Cup rolls around. So
yeah.
yeah, Harry Kane. I think that's fair.
Left wing. Oh, so it's like
So
what?
we've got Foden, Grealish,
Gordon,
Gordon,
Rashford, Eze.
Rashford, mm, Eze, who is 27, 26, 27.
Who else can play on the left? Am I completely missing someone? Um,
I think that's
I'd
it.
like it to be Gordon personally. I think I would choose Gordon because I like having pace on the wings. So I'd personally go Gordon and
Oh,
another 2 years under him.
look at me. My name's Adam and I play FIFA. That's great, mate. Um, Phil Foden. I think Phil Foden can start still.
He stinks for England.
Thinks for England, but he's still out of the lot that you've picked. Who is the best player? We're talking. Okay, so the
Yes,
thing.
but look, that's
What were you
where's that
saying
got
earlier?
us?
What you said? The best team against the best players in that country.
Yeah,
Phil Foden is one of the players in the
play him at
country.
left back then if you're struggling for to fit him
Alan
in.
Doyle will be the best left back in England, mate. Shush. Do you know what?
Yeah.
Fucking? Do you know what? We'll put fucking. Who will we put in the 10? We'll sit Cole Palmer left back and we'll play someone else on the 10. How about that? No.
To be fair, if Tuchel goes to a back three, you could see Saka at left wing back.
Oh, not again, please. Um, no.
I think
I,
it'll be
I
either
do see
Foden
Gordon
or
though.
Gordon.
I think it is between Gordon and Foden.
They're the only two I could think of, unless we're missing someone, but I don't believe there is
Yeah.
anyone else that would really get into that team. Um, Dwight McNeil,
No.
Harvey Elliott. There's no one else I can really
Oh,
think of.
well, don't give me started. Jamie Barno
Uh,
Gibson's.
or Sancho if he has a good couple of years at Chelsea. There you go. There's a couple there.
Yeah. I think these are sort
Yeah.
of like fringe players that we could see all
They
make.
could get in the squad, but yeah,
Yeah. Then
for
you have
World
someone
Cup
say like
and World
Leon Bailey, and
figures.
then yeah, it all goes downhill. Can you remember that when that was a thing in like was it 2018? I think it was, and everyone was like speculating that Leon Bailey was going to get called up to the World Cup or something like that. I don't know. It was
Oh yeah, it was something. Yeah, I
some,
vaguely remember that.
yeah, yeah. No, that was a
It's
crazy time we
rather
lived in.
play for Jamaica than
Yeah,
than play for England.
yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine Musiala was English, eh?
You say that we don't need another 10, so I'm glad he's not.
No, I could
You'd
have
have
just put
another 10.
Palmer out to left back and Musiala into. And he missed a trick. Missed a trick.
You've not even mentioned Madison, and like he's a great player, but he
Yeah.
doesn't get in my team. But
No, no.
so
Um, but yeah, I think it's looking fairly similar to the tournament that England have just had in terms of squad wise.
hmm,
I don't think there'll be too many changes. I don't think I mean, obviously we won't see the likes of Trippier or Walker. I don't think personally. I think they'll be
hope not.
past it.
Yeah.
And I think there will be fresh faces for sure.
Mhm. Yeah, it's just
Some
I
young
think it's
players.
mainly defensively you're sort of looking at newcomers because your attack's fairly set.
Yeah, this is the thing. Defensively, England have struggled of late in terms of producing.
It's
But
the left backs and centre
defensively,
backs.
they've been very good in tournaments. I think. I don't think they've been too poor, but
Yeah,
it's more the case of
all of our stars are up front and forward areas. That's the thing.
yeah, it's the
There's no big
quality
names
in
really.
defensive areas
Mm.
definitely. But we'll move on. Obviously, the Premier League's been up and running for a while. Although this thing I was saying this this morning. I was at a football session this morning, and I was speaking to a mate about we've had two international breaks. The Championship's only been going for 9 game weeks. I played 9 games. There's already been 2 international
When you
breaks.
played nine. Usually by
Yeah, I
this, it
know.
feels like you've played loads more.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really weird. It seems like the season should have been, well and truly underway, but it's barely even started.
You've got another one as well at the end of the month or start of November, isn't it? I think next.
Midway through November.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, not far away now because we're midway through October. By the time, yeah,
Yeah. I think it's another 6 or 7 game like Prem games away in fairness though, isn't it? There's quite a few Prem games in between.
I don't think
4, 5, 6, I think. Because there's a couple
they
like you
start.
play midweek and stuff.
I don't think the Premier League plays midweek though in that time. Personally, I'm
Oh,
not
oh.
too sure. I think the Premier
I
League
know
plays
we've got
midweek in
yeah.
December,
Oh yeah, that might be, yeah.
but
It's probably about 4 or 5 then,
it's really
maybe.
weird because you obviously got these 3 international breaks, and then come the end of the November one, you ain't got one until March, and you play a fuck ton of games in between.
Mm. Yeah, that
They need
Christmas
to spread it
period.
out a little bit. Um,
Yeah. Well,
but
no,
yeah,
obviously, yeah.
that's a topic for another
Mm.
podcast for sure. But we'll go on to obviously the Premier League. Who's impressed you, Adam, and who has disappointed you?
Who's this?
I
I
mean,
don't say
Wolves, Palace. Palace have been a real letdown for me personally.
I think Palace because yeah, I think Wolves. It's like they started slow last year, so like
And
they've done
then
this
they
before,
they came back all
and their
right, didn't they?
performances don't deserve them to be where they are, and they've played
No, they
some really
played well
tough
against
games.
Liverpool, didn't they?
Yeah, like although I think it's a generous scoreline, I think, but I do think they'll stay up. I don't doubt them
Yeah.
again. Like
I think
we made the
Palace
mistake.
are
Palace have just started so slow. Eze's done nothing.
yeah,
Mateta's
no,
been
but
on the
it's really
bench a
weird.
time.
Obviously, we kind of knew like, okay, Elise's leaving. Okay, it's a
Mm.
big hole to fill, and obviously, but when you actually look at it,
They have
last
no
season,
creativity at all.
until Elise and Eze were both in the team together, they didn't really start clicking.
Yeah.
So obviously, Eze's really missing sort of that counterpart to sort of
Mm.
to play with, and Kamada really isn't sort of like given that. Obviously, just signed Nketiah, obviously now
Yeah.
probably a seasoned Premier League striker. To
Yeah.
be honest, it's
I
been
think
around.
they're going to try them two up front, aren't they? I think I saw
Yeah,
something that
I think
has
I
been
still think Mateta's got a lot to give. I think he's a fantastic
he
striker.
just had a ridiculous purple patch, though, I think. But I
No,
think he's still a good player. But
I went Palace away in the Carabao Cup with Norwich, and he was fantastic. Obviously, it's Norwich's second string team was playing against Grant Hanley. It's not exactly. I mean, I reckon I could notch one or two past Grant Hanley, but still
yeah,
was very very good.
still got yeah. No, I
But
would have said Palace have been my team that sort of underperformed.
yeah,
Them or the United, but United haven't
yeah.
disappointed me
Even
so
West
much.
Ham as well. I think West Ham have massively underperformed. Obviously, you called me
Yeah,
out at the start because I really like West Ham's business. I thought okay,
no.
I think they'll do well this season, but no,
I
they've.
knew it screamed of like mid-table, but I didn't think
I
they'd
think
be
I had
this.
Palace seventh and West Ham fifth or something as well. My predictions. So
No, yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna get
I think it's
ridiculed.
but like that's because you looked at the business and the business was good. But like half the players, like Fulkrug's been injured, they're still playing Antonio. Somerville hasn't really got going yet.
Yeah, and then the other
Some of the
signings like
defend
Gil.
Hillman hasn't been brilliant. Wan-Bissaka's been good,
Yeah,
um,
oh, I don't think Kilman's been awful.
but it's sort of the like the couple. I think they brought in that other Soler and was it another Argentinian midfielder that wasn't. He got hooked after like 25 minutes.
Yeah. I don't
So
think
they're a bit up and down,
Lopetegui is the right
and
man for.
he's not great. I don't like Lopetegui either. So
I think they needed a different man. Maybe a Graham Potter.
yeah, that could be it. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see
Graham
what
Potter
that.
could do well.
Otherwise, it'd be United. I think would be the team that's underperformed the most because
Yeah.
everyone,
I think there's been a lot more underachievers than overachievers this season.
like Tottenham haven't been brilliant as well. Tottenham have
Yeah,
started.
start relatively.
Um,
I mean, who would you say have impressed you so far this season, Adam?
the best team in the world, Liverpool.
Oh, for fuck's sake! But that's expected. I want something. I want Rowe.
Oh, who haven't? I think I didn't expect Villa to carry on. I thought Villa would have dipped
I
personally.
did. I said
I
that.
think
I'm
yeah, that's where I got a bit wrong. I thought, but then I sort of thought, oh, they weren't used to like top quality European football. But then they
They've
always
got
dealt with a
top
thinner
quality
squad
European
last season.
players.
But
That's why.
they've no, it's the manager. I think the manager makes such a difference. Like they beat Bayern Munich. That's nuts. Like to think they beat Bayern. Like
John Duran, what a
this
player he
team nearly
played.
got relegated and should have got relegated if the goal against Sheffield was
Yeah.
given. And now they're beating Bayern Munich. Like it's just really cool what they're doing. So I think they'll
I
be the
mean,
team that
imagine what like a
got me.
crazy refereeing decision can do for your
Yeah,
club. Eh?
that's
Um,
ridiculous to think how
yeah,
different it
no,
could be.
they've been very very good. I think. I mean, obviously, I fully expected them to carry on. I think they've got such good squad depth now. They've got
Mm.
some quality players.
Watkins has been a bit slow, but otherwise they've
Yeah,
managed
John
to hold
Duran's
up.
been firing for fun though. This is the thing.
Yeah, he's been good.
You're looking at the 70th minute. Oh, Watkins hasn't been great. Oh, that's all right. We've got a Colombian powerhouse on our bench.
Got a guarantee. He's
John
only
Duran.
20 as well. I didn't realize how
I mean,
young he
it's
was.
nuts. And some of his goal compilation is just all screamers.
Mm.
It's
No, it is
nuts.
ridiculous. Yeah.
But yeah, I think Brighton as well have impressed me. I think
Brighton
Brighton.
have done well. Yeah, they always seem to like they're so up and down. Like they'll go through phases, I think, which is a bit weird with Brighton.
I think with them it helps that they don't have European football this season. Obviously, last season they did, which is why
Yeah,
they might have struggled a little bit. And then De Zerbi's obviously fucked off to Marseille, which is
yeah.
ropey. But at least he
Yeah.
gets to coach the wonderful Jonathan Rowe.
That's exactly why he went. Yeah. So, but yeah, Brighton have also were on like I think last year with some injuries. Like, I know João Pedro got injured for a little bit, and obviously Welbeck's still doing his
Gal
thing
Pedro
there.
has got injured
But
again. I think he's back now though after his international
yeah,
break.
so I think
Um,
they'll be fine. They always buy a couple of like worldies that will sell them for 100 mil in a couple of years. But
I think they're so good at it. I think their recruitment system is bloody fantastic.
oh yeah, no, it's Joe. Otherwise, I think the teams you expected to be at the top were there. Well, I don't think anyone had us to be top or like as looking as good as
I
we
mean,
were.
this the thing because we do forget. Obviously, we've had two international breaks. We feel like it's a bit of the season's gone, but it's really
Yeah.
not. Obviously,
Oh
you
no.
guys are top, but there's still so much to play for,
Oh
isn't
yeah, we think especially if we look ahead at our next set of fixtures. By the time we come back to it in November or the international break, we could be like fifth place, 6 points off the
Rodri
top.
out
And be like,
for
yeah,
a long time as well. Man City might struggle a
yeah,
bit.
that's massive as well.
Arsenal, I mean, they'll be up.
Yeah, Arsenal would.
I think
Yeah,
they'll. I think. I mean, we say. I think we've said this every year though. It's Arsenal's time to win it now, but I think
I
we
think they'll have the best chance because City do look a bit vulnerable, but
and without Rodri now as well.
they just score so many goals that it's almost like they're opposites.
Mm.
Arsenal don't look vulnerable defensively, but they don't score as many as they should. Whereas City score stupid amounts of goals, but do look vulnerable at the back. So it's like,
Is that they come up against a low block and they
mm,
struggle and they don't get one past them, but this one team hits them on the counter and scores. City
yeah.
are
So I don't honestly like
one
if
nil
it,
loss.
yeah. So it'll be good. Obviously, you've got Liverpool Chelsea this week, and I think it'll be a good game. Chelsea have obviously been very good this
Yeah,
season,
that's
actually.
that's another. I think that's another one that deserves a bit of a shout out, Chelsea, because I think under Enzo Maresca, I think we all thought, you're not excited.
Mm.
It's a bit meh. Obviously, didn't have the
It was just a
great start.
mess. I think it was just all the players, all the
Yeah,
signings. It was just like,
I think Maresca sort of put his foot down. Obviously, I've seen like interviews and reporters asking him, how are you managing 43 players?" Like, no, I'm managing 21 players. I'm managing the squad that I
mm,
picked. These
yeah,
other players that aren't in his squad basically aren't his business. And you know what? It's harsh on those players because obviously Chelsea have a ridiculous amount of players that have signed like 8-year
mm,
fucking contracts. But
yeah,
I think you need that sort of cutthroat attitude that
mm,
is just going to keep that Chelsea squad in line. Otherwise, like you say, it is going to be chaos.
yeah. But
Um,
like you said, they've got so much quality up front, like in them attacking areas as well. Like
Nicholas Jackson seems to be very decent this season.
he's
Um,
he's still hit and miss, but he's found like yeah, he's a bit
he,
more hit this season than miss.
yeah,
But
he's found a bit of form. He's playing a lot better. I think again, this is the thing. We don't really give like footballers coming from foreign countries and who have never played in the Prem before. We don't give them the benefit of the doubt at all. We
mm,
expect them to always hit the ground running. It never happens. Like it does happen, but like very
yeah,
very rarely. And I think with players like Nicholas Jackson who've played in La Liga, I think we do need to give them sort of that season to settle in, and then let's see what they can do. Because
mm.
playing in a completely different league is going to be completely different opposition, style of play.
Well,
How
Chelsea were an even bigger mess last season, to be fair to him. So that wouldn't help.
and obviously now things have settled down a bit. I think we could probably see the best of Nicholas
Mm.
Jackson, hopefully.
I think having that, yeah, I still want to see more from Enzo.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think Enzo Fernandez
he
and
seemed a
Moises
bit.
Caicedo. I think we need to see sort of a midfield powerhouse from them
I,
two.
I like Caicedo's done really well, but I think when Lavia's fit, I think he starts over Enzo because Enzo's not been good enough because he's not really a 10 and
Mm,
he's not really doing that box to box role that I think Maresca likes because
mm.
he's not going to play over Palmer in a 10. So I think he likes Lavia and Caicedo there, which worked well, I think, early in the season. I think they played it for like the first game or something. Um,
And Ipswich still haven't won a game yet.
Neither of Southampton have they, or
Yeah, but
Wolves. Been a couple of teams.
yeah, don't care. Ipswich
Yeah.
haven't won a game yet, and Norwich, Norwich on a fine bit of form, I must say so myself. Looking good under Johannes Hoff-Thorup. Any players from Norwich you want Adam for Liverpool? Any players that are
Mm.
striking your eye?
Oh, I can't even tell you a Norwich player is the question.
I mean, if you're not saying ball has science, I'd
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Him. He's the Spanish fellow. He
yeah,
scored against us, didn't he, actually, at
he
Anfield?
scored screaming, didn't
Yeah, he
he?
did, didn't he? Yeah.
7 goals
He,
scored
he,
this season. He's a
he
top
can go
goal
in our
scorer.
reserves team or like our cup squad.
Top goal scorer in the championship this season, though, so far. So
It's on fire.
he is. So it's just Sargent.
A Sergeant, no, I don't want him.
Why?
And I may get annoyed at Nunes, but I would never want a ginger American leading my front line.
I fucking love my ginger American leading my front line. Anyway, our Nunes is better. Marcelino Nunes is better than Darwin.
That probably wouldn't be hard, so I can't really say that.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's been an interesting start to the season. I think in all competitions, it's the
What do
Champions
you think of the
League.
new Champions League format?
Fucking hate it still. I
I
despise it.
think
Yeah, mate, bring it back. Mate, do you know what I miss? And I think I've said this on previous podcasts, and I'm going to say this every podcast. So ITV and BT, TNT, whatever they're fucking called
yeah,
now, all recognise it.
yeah.
Bring back ITV Champions League nights, group stage, the shebang, the whole thing. Yeah,
Hmm.
I loved. I mean, I used to get home from like
Your
football
PlayStation
training.
2 sponsors around the
I used to get
side.
back from like football training on a Wednesday night. Yeah, we used to switch on Tuesday or Wednesday night. Used to switch on ITV. Oh, Liverpool versus the Debrecen, whoever they are. I remember Dirk out scoring a rebound in the 45th minute, and my mum told me to go to bed afterwards. Like,
Ah,
but those are the fucking memories. You know what I mean? I don't
yeah.
remember watching fucking a league format Champions League on TNT Sport.
I think it's annoying because it's also going to mess up everyone's record. Like obviously Ronaldo's records for the most like we're in a six group game and then knockouts. Whereas now you're gonna have people playing eight knockout or group games,
Mm.
missing a knockout, and then still playing the
Watching in
knockout.
2 years' time, John Duran, all-time Champions League, all-time
Yeah, because
scorer.
they played like Haaland's gonna smash it within like 3 seasons because he's played like so many more games. But
It doesn't help other teams as well. Obviously, we spoke about. I think managers have been going on about fixture congestion for the last like 3 to 5 years. Yeah,
it is
and
yeah.
what do they think was going to? Let's add more games in the Champions League. Let's do it
Yeah. Let's add a couple
even
extra.
more. But they have a fair point. It is like
Yeah.
fixture congestion isn't helping. These are human beings, and
Mm,
obviously they get a whole summer off. But if those summers are filled with international tournaments, these international players playing
mm.
in these European competitions, which they usually are, give them a
They
fucking
get one
break,
summer
man.
off every 2 years if they're lucky.
Obviously, you still get a bit off. I don't think they do, but like, you know,
Yeah, you get a couple weeks,
is
but
that,
that's not like yeah.
I know they get paid a serious amount of money, but like,
That's always the argument, isn't
if
it?
you
But
want your team to do well in all competitions and you're playing a serious amount of games, you do worry for yourself as a fan. Like, Jesus Christ,
I think you got to look at it as like I
how
think
are
it
we
was
going to
one of
cope
these.
against these lot at the
It's
weekend when
the
we're playing?
product. You
Yeah,
want the product to be the best. So if you keep like it's not gonna they're not gonna play as well if they're tired.
yeah. I
So
mean, look at
they let
Newcastle last season, for example. I think they're
yeah.
a
So
perfect
when you and then you
example.
get into the Euros or the World Cup and you're like, oh, so and so's Bellingham's knackered because he's played every minute under whoever he's played the whole season. Oh, Palmer's shattered because he's
That
done this.
season that Pedri was it that played
Yeah, he
like
played like 75 games or something stupid and then did the Olympics.
mate,
Yeah, so
nuts.
I think it is a bit worrying, but it's just money. I think that's the issue, isn't it? There's just I
Well,
think the
that's
actual
that's what
I
makes
don't
football go around. That's makes
I
the
don't
world go
hate
round.
the new format, but I think people just need to get used to the change.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
Yeah. Right. Well, we'll end the podcast there. Memories of Liverpool versus the Debrecen on ITV. Um, Liverpool topping the table. Thomas Tuchel becoming the England manager, and Cole Palmer at left back. We'll see you
yeah.
guys.